Well, with less than 30 hours before Minister eNCA's maiden budget speech, some economists and experts from the private sector are waiting with bated breath to hear what's in store for this year. To discuss this further, political and financial analyst Nicholas Borain joins us now via Zoom. Nick, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Let's focus on the politics and the policy that's surrounding this budget speech. So, what in your mind is going to impact or is impacting the political environment surrounding this budget speech, and what does that mean for the policy?
I think there was a fairly wide greetings. Good morning to you. Good morning to everyone else. I think there's very wide expectations that the ANC's electoral performance last year, the riots and looting in July, and the conference this year are major threat points in which that could derail the Cyril Ramaphosa and allies reform program, relating particularly to the Vulindlela reforms in network industries, but also the anti-corruption stuff. My own view is that that's not that I have not seen the president and his allies have tighter control both of the party and of the policy. Yes, the underlying economic conditions are against them, and we, frankly, more than anything, are extremely vulnerable to a global downturn of some kind between now and 2016, or sorry, 2023. But I do think politically we're really on track in a way that we haven't been for a long time. I'm just worried that it might be too late, it might not be enough.
Explain what you mean, Nick, by saying politically you feel like we're on track.
In 2017, when Cyril Ramaphosa was won to the ANC presidency, you will remember the financial markets where everyone had placed their bets leading up to that conference. There was a huge amount of money riding on it. And when Cyril won, there was also, as we pointed out, me and my colleagues pointed out early, before the conference, if he wins, his ability to maneuver is going to be very modest. And so the so-called Ramaphoria that people refer to, which I now can't stand using because it becomes such a cliche, but there was this over-expectation that they got very disappointed. So people initially made a lot of money and then lost a lot of money by expecting change quickly. So Cyril Ramaphosa and his allies have finally passed the big anti-corruption stuff within the ANC. The Zondo reports are coming out, and it's obviously very damaging to the ANC. In some ways, the ANC has taken it on the chin. And now, more importantly than any of those, is the power reforms. We can go into them in detail, but possibly you would have better experts than me to talk about it. But also each network industry that has a major parastatal at its heart, the program defined in many ways by Operation Vulindlela, which sits in the the Treasury and guides the president in policy formation, where there's a major state-owned enterprise owning a major infrastructure like ports, rail. The job is and the transformation is all about getting private investment, facilitating private investment to operate on that infrastructure at competitive prices, which is really what the IPP program is about. And so I am quite positive about the policy and politics. We know that the Radical Economic Transformation faction, in a weird kind of an alliance with the economic freedom fighters, are attacking that program, presenting it as liberalization, as privatization by stealth. It isn't that, but it's an obvious line of attack. But I think politically, Cyril Ramaphosa is too strong to get taken on in the ANC. I think he has firm control of the NEC, and I think the policy reforms are clearly speeding up in a form of desperation, driven by desperation, because of the incredibly poor social conditions of South Africans won't discuss the unemployment rate. But whether they will get the traction and humans, our citizens, will feel the change by the end of 2023, by the 2024 elections, has to be a question mark. And therefore, that's, I suppose, an extended ahead-looking a risk event, the 2024 elections.
All right, Nick, thank you so much for your time. It's interesting. You're one of the few analysts I've heard say that they feel President Ramaphosa is in a position of strength. Nicholas Borain, a political and financial analyst, talking about the political environment surrounding the budget speech that will be given tomorrow.